Sometimes people give me a hard time about being a little nutso with my shop organization. Liz at work, she's always making fun of me for being obsessed with containers, and word got out. Megan Fitzpatrick sent me a bunch of Altoids tins, and I use them all the time to store things in. I've even been known to buy a gross of specimen cups. Gross, sealed, sterile. They were like $3. I stand by that purchase. But the reason being is I like to keep my workshop clean. I like to keep it organized. And I can't say that that extends into the rest of my life at all. And woodworking for me is a reprieve of day-to-day stresses. And if I come out to my shop and I can't do what I want to do because I can't find something or I can't get to something, that adds more stress to my life. So if you're like me and like to use woodworking as an escape, maybe it's time to buckle down and organize your shop a little bit more so that it's not stressful when you get in there. Whether it's a basement shop that shares laundry duties, or whether it's a garage that everything gets packed up in and the cars get pulled in at night. You could do this anywhere. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Let's get the hard part out of the way. Everything you've got in that coffee can labeled screws, you don't need. If it's been in there for more than a year, you don't need it. You don't need it. These are metric stop nuts. Maybe 8mm stop nuts. I don't know what they're from. It sounds amazing to some, but you can throw away nuts and bolts. I promise you nothing happens. Nothing happens. If you've been tripping over it forever, throw it away. Go Marie Kondo on it. If it doesn't spark joy, release it. Don't be sentimental about nuts and bolts. Sure. Brass hardware that your grandfather had stored away in a bin, that's fine. But don't be sentimental about 8mm stop nuts. Otherwise you wind up like my old man. This shop is magical to me. This is my dad's shop. Many a late night helping my brother tear cars apart in here. Many Boy Scout projects done in here. Many just hours and hours and hours. This is one of my favorite places in all the world to be, is right here in my dad's shop. But it's not exactly organized. Forever, this was Dad's supply of hardware. It was in these two bins. They're hanging on the wall. 3/8" screws, I would assume those are 3/8" screws, are brass wood screws. Now, back in the day, he would start there and he would look for what he needed. And if he didn't find it there, then you would come and you would look through Uncle Bob's bins and see if Uncle Bob had what you needed. And if Uncle Bob didn't have it, you went to Grandpa. And Grandpa might have it, because Grandpa had all the weird stuff. Now, my dad's come a long way in shop organization since then. He's got a long way to go. We're working with him. But we all know that that's no way to organize your hardware. I'm not going to make you look in my garage, but it's a lot like a lot of other garages. Snowblower, tractor, bicycles, just stuff everywhere. And I was able to wall off a bay and keep that out of my woodshop life. That helps. But in there lies part of my organization. I have 3 major layers of organization. There is the, man, I hope I have it. If I do, it's in here. Then there is the, I probably have it. And if I do, it's in here. Then there is the, I definitely have it, and this is where it would be. If it's not in here, I do not have it, go buy it. This bin. Plumbing. But Ben, this is fine woodworking. Why are you talking about plumbing? Well, This makes my wood shop more organized because I don't have this stuff out in the walls of my wood shop because I can put it away and know exactly where it is. These are the things that I might use once a year. If I'm pulling out more than once a year, we got problems. Everything from, PEX tool to extra braided faucet lines to whatever. If it's plumbing, it just gets thrown in this box. I don't care what it is. Very, very general organization. I have one for plumbing. I have one for like general household things. I have one for electrical, painting supplies, drywall supplies. So that's my very, very general organization of things like that. Those go over there behind the super classy blanket door. If I didn't have a separate section, they would be just on the bottom of a shelf somewhere, out of sight, out of mind. A lot of people have shelves filled with the stuff that's just out and there's no organization to it and they don't know what's there. So they keep buying more stuff and then they keep piling up more stuff. Take, for example, the other night, my brother called me looking for 1/2-inch shark bite fittings. I looked in here, they weren't in there, I didn't have them. I didn't need to look around more. They're not in this box. So this small wall over here, this is like my general supplies area. Anything from hinges and jig hardware and glue, things like that. This system was inspired by a famous YouTuber, Casey Neistat, and his videos aren't everybody's cup of tea. I really enjoy them and I find them inspiring. He had a video on how he organizes all the accessories that come with running a video studio. And in it, he had a wall of red plastic toolboxes that he organized everything in. Big wall filled with stuff. I thought it was kind of cool and I kind of wanted to pay homage to it. So this is what I came up with. I couldn't find red plastic toolboxes at a price I could stomach. Honestly, I don't like red plastic toolboxes, so I did red boxes made out of wood. It's just some plywood that's glued and screwed together. And I kicked mine up a notch by making them in 3 different sizes. I have them in 6-inch, 12-inch, and 18-inch. So a lot of things that are stored in this box of metal and random wire and skewers and things like that, they're around 18 inches long. And honestly, 18 inches can fit in there no problem diagonally. So if all of the boxes were one size, it would make it kind of difficult to organize. So I wanted to make this system able to grow and conform to what I needed to organize, not make what I needed to organize conform to my system. Hinges, sharpening accessories, cabinet hardware, random off-the-wall drill bits, glue, rubber things from rubber bands to crutch tips or whatever. It all kind of fits over here. I also keep some bins up top with spring clamps and hide glue. This is just my general shop random organization, but still categorized. This setup can easily grow. I could easily make these bins again, more of them, spread them out, whatever. But the real key is that they're able to be flexible in how I organize things. Works for me. So now we get to talk about one of my favorite things in the world. That is hardware storage, nuts and bolts. I've worked in hardware stores for maybe a quarter of my life, all through high school and college. Before I started working at the magazine, I was working at a hardware store. I really enjoy hardware stores, and maybe a part of me just wants to have a mini hardware store in my shop. Part of me just doesn't like looking for things and wants to have things on hand when I need it. I can't tell you how much frustration has been saved by having a solid supply of wood screws on hand. I don't have to think, oh, do I have screws for this? Yeah, because I do, because I keep them stocked. I also buy in bulk. So instead of paying 10 cents a screw, I'm paying 5 cents a screw. And it just makes life a lot easier and nicer for me. But if you're gonna have a large supply, you have to find a way of organizing them. Adam Savage kind of started the trend of hardware organization that I follow, honestly. I just do it on a tighter budget than he does. He came out with a video on his YouTube channel, Tested, years ago about how he organizes nuts and bolts and whatnot. And he uses these bins that are fairly easy to get in Europe, but here in North America, they run in excess of $60 a piece. I have found something very, very similar to his setup, that these bins cost a little bit more than, I think, like $22 a piece. They're All-It economy bins. I've only ever been able to find them on Lee Valley's website. Maybe in Europe they're more common. I have 6 of these, but they've been a great investment because I'm able to know what I have. And part of that is these removable cups. And there's a grid here, and this is a 1x1 cup. And then we have a 2x1. And they come with 1x1s, 2x1s, and some 2x2s. But you can order more from Lee Valley. They're around $1 a piece. When I order bins, and I also order extra 1x1 cups. I think I ordered 20 of these, maybe 10 of the yellows. It was well worth it. If you have a 3D printer, you can print up more bins. I wouldn't recommend printing all of your bins because they really take a long time. But if I need a 3x1 for pneumatic nails, there you go. A lot of people will buy bins that have set dividers. Say I wanted to store all of my nails in one spot. I fill this up with one bin, but then my pneumatic nails aren't going to fit in there. All of a sudden, I'm separating things out that really should be together. The reason why these bins are so powerful to me is that you can change the layout inside them however you need it to be. So if you need to put large stuff in, there you go. In the same bin, I've got 6x1/2 inch screws and 10x2 inch screws. All of my wood screws are in here. It's easy to change. If you have something like this bin, if you needed to put 3-inch screws in here, you can't. One great thing about these All-It bins that I forgot to mention is that you can take out the bin and bring it to your workbench and put it away. You don't have to bring all of your screws with you. You can take out one, bring it to the work, put it back when you're done. I'm gonna hold the lid, but nothing moved. So this is my cabinet of drawers. These drawers over here, lots of different things in there. What's in there doesn't really matter. The cool thing though is that these drawers and these bins are interchangeable. So if for some reason I need more drawers, I could take out all the bins and build more drawers. If for some reason I need more bins, I can take out the drawers, store those items somewhere else, and my bins can grow. This is another key element of how I stay organized, is to future-proof yourself. Think of it as a living, breathing thing. Your organization needs to be able to grow. If you are working yourself into a corner, eventually when you overflow, you're not organized anymore. So these all work together so that I can stay organized. So maybe you're like me, who takes shop organization pretty seriously. Or maybe you're like my dad and you need to get some bins and start a general shop organization just to get rid of some of the clutter. Either way, I think the more organized you get, the more enjoyable you're gonna find your shop time and the more work you're gonna be getting done. Honestly, it starts to become kind of fun and addictive to see how efficient you can make things in your shop. But if you do just a little bit more, you're gonna probably enjoy your shop time more. And isn't that the whole point of having a wood shop, is enjoying your wood shop? So why don't you go outside, clean up a little bit, organize, and let me know your favorite tips and tricks so that I can learn from you too. Share them below in the comments. And until next time, keep reading Fine Woodworking Magazine. We really appreciate it.